The Key, home of Southern sports and talk. Newman, Sharpsburg, Franklin.
Shenyun Performing Arts invites you to travel to the magic world of ancient China. Experience a lost culture brought to life with incredible classical Chinese dance, magical scenery, and soul-stirring music. Shenyun. Coming to River Center for the Performing Arts, January 23rd only. Tickets at shenyun.com/Columbus-GA or call 877-285-7469.
Sending lots of Christmas wishes your way from the ladies at Gillenweed's Lifestyle Boutique, 21 West Court Square in Newman. Gillenweed's is your holiday and year-round location for the best gifts for that special someone and yourself. 770-683-9200. Shop Gillenweeds.com. Merry Christmas from the staff at Gillenweeds in downtown Newnan. Wishing you a happy and healthy new year is your friends at Dairy Queen, 61 Jefferson Street here in Newnan. They're also reminding you that they will be open on Christmas Eve for your convenience while you're shopping. Once again, happy holidays from your friends at Dairy Queen, 61 Jefferson.
The House of Light brings clarity to your soul, offering a safe space for healing through our compassionate practitioners, services, classes, and wisdom, plus the tools to support you in our retail space.
When you hear music, do the lyrics speak to you on a deeper level? I'm Bruce Thornton. Join me and Donna Wood every Friday morning at 10:30 a.m. on WQEE 99.1 FM The Key for our show Lyrical Wisdom. Every week we will dive into the lyrics of songs and uncover hidden messages that we hope will leave you feeling inspired and enlightened. We know that our ideas may not always line up with yours, so this show will be an open discussion. Email us with ideas for songs at lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. That's lyricalwisdomshow@gmail.com. Let's share some wisdom together.
To protect his home and family from disaster, Steve used a counsel.
It's now time for the House of Light presents The Wisdom Cafe, each and every week at this time on 99.1 FM WQEE. Here's this week's special.
Good morning, everyone. Donna Wood here from the House of Light, welcoming you all to Wisdom Cafe. Today we have something wonderful on the menu. Good morning, Ryan.
Good morning. How you doing?
I am doing wonderful. I am so excited to have a very special guest here, someone who has brought so much wisdom into my life. I am so happy and thrilled to introduce you all to a very good friend of mine, Karen Clark Green Cook. Wonderful to have you with us today, Karen. I know you've got a lot of beautiful things coming up, and I want you to tell us all about what's going on with you in your life.
Oh, boy. First of all, thank you for having me. Donna, you are a special friend. You already know that. House of Light has been a rescue haven, I believe, for many, and especially for many of us who are in any kind of holistic anything, empaths, whatever you do in helping other people heal or become better, and with the understanding that doctors need doctoring too as well.
Yes.
Yes. So we thank you, for being there and being available when we need
You're
to be.
welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes. Oh my. So right now, coming to the end of the year, and I'll even say the end of an era.
Yeah.
Which is what I really believe is happening. There's so much going on in people's personal lives right now that they're not really understanding why, but we're coming not only to the end of a year, but the end of an era. Next month, and I'll come back to that. So next month, I will be with Springer Opera House in Columbus, Georgia. We are doing Murder on the Orient Express, and I'm playing the role of Princess Natalia Dragunov.
Wow, I
Yes.
love
So I will be
murder
Russian.
mysteries.
Yes, I will be Russian. And I'm grateful for that. I cannot explain the feeling of being able to be me again, to be back doing what defines me as a performer. And maybe, those who are listening, they don't know, but my whole life I'm a performing artist. Forte opera, grew up doing musical theater, dance, had a dance company, had a performing arts school, directing, producing, and then it kind of shut down for a minute. And so I'm very grateful, very grateful. And I've said this often, and especially at my age, for anyone to still find me relevant, I'm grateful. Grateful to God for that.
Oh, yes, that's big. Everyone, I keep hearing, I just want to be seen. I just want to be heard. And that's what's happening now. We're being seen and we're being heard.
Yes.
We're coming back into ourselves, our sovereign divinity.
Correct. And this is my passion. We all should be living our passion, but so many of us don't even know our passion. You know, they're not even sure what they're passionate about. Some people are, I'm passionate about only what makes me feel good. And that's how they define it. And all of this will lead into love as well.
Okay.
But passion is something that you can't live without. You know, what I do, and everything that I do, I also teach. I also coach. I coach actors, singers, dancers. I taught at the House of Light. I teach from a epigenetic point of view, from a spiritual point of view, because I'm passionate about all that. And I love to see what's in someone that they don't know is there come to the forefront. I love helping people
Find themselves.
Find themselves.
Yes.
Now there's another side to that.
Oh,
because,
yeah.
You know, some people
Yes.
that not only do they not want you to find them, they don't want to find themselves. They want to continue being who they made themselves be versus ego route, because it's less painful, maybe.
Yes. I have learned that. Yes. Yeah.
In fact, I was speaking with Karen with a C. There's a couple Karens at the House of Light, and then there's 3 Karens of us at Piedmont Cancer Family Center. So it just so happened all the Karens were there yesterday.
That's awesome.
Yeah. But we were talking about being an empath, and which I'm not sure if everyone understands that term. Empaths are, it's more of a spiritual term, because empaths are sensitive to vibrations and sound as well as feelings and emotions. And sometimes we hear things, maybe a conversation, you might be sitting there looking at me and talking to me about the book over there, but I'm hearing a conversation that you had another day with someone else.
Interesting.
Or you're sitting there with a smile on your face and you're telling me, oh, I'm good, you know, da, da, da. But I'm feeling your vibration that's literally hurting me. But the conversation yesterday was the downfall of empaths who have this enormous amount of love. The downfall is you're often taken advantage of, you're hoodwinked. You know, it kind of goes along with the gift of mercy. You have this amount of mercy for people. Sometimes you overlook things. Being taken advantage of is the biggie, though. Most empaths go through that because you care so much.
Yeah.
And the knowledge of how to protect yourself. You know, we talked about that when we had the roundtable talk at House of Light. Yeah. So it's like measuring heart capacity.
Okay.
Of love. You know, people define love differently, and love is different to different people according to what they've been through in their life.
Wow. For me, yes, love has so many definitions. And for me, you cannot define love. That's how big it truly is. For me, I see God,
Yes.
the source, creator.
Yes.
People have different names for that energy.
Mm-hmm.
I call it love.
Because God is love.
Yes.
Yeah, it is love that created everything. You know, I don't want to call it a mandate or a challenge, but if I may use the scripture of love your neighbor as yourself. Well, if you don't love yourself, it's impossible to love your neighbor.
And therefore, that's where all the fighting begins.
Yes. But if you tell that person, well, you got to love yourself first, they will fight you. Well, I love me.
Right.
You know, why would I not love me? Most who are that way, they are identifying themselves through their life's journey. What made them feel good, what didn't make them feel good. You know, and some people only have the capacity to love by how you make them feel. Oh, this is love because you are making me feel.
Right.
But they don't know how to make you feel love.
Yeah.
They don't have that capacity.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people look outside of themselves to find love.
Correct.
In another person, in something they do, something, they enjoy, a place they live. They search outside of themselves.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So you cannot love anyone as yourself if you do not love yourself first. Yeah.
How do you know if you really truly do love yourself?
You know, it's I think that's a lesson that we all go through, and I don't have the definitive answer. You know, I think part of it is understanding and finding the God within you. And unfortunately, through a lot of religious means, people are still taught to seek God outside of themselves. You know, some are still thinking it's a man who sits on a throne somewhere.
In heaven,
yes.
They call it. Yes.
Yeah. But even in that same understanding and in those same circles and that same teachings, if you're doing it scripturally, we're told the kingdom of God is within you. It's inside you.
Yes.
It's not brick or mortar. You know, it's not a building, but it's in you. That's how you love yourself. You are loving the God within you when you can recognize that love. Some people can't recognize love if they hurt.
Yes.
And sometimes love hurts.
Yes, it does.
Yes,
it's
it
truth.
does.
It's yes, yeah. And that is, oh my gosh, it sounds so simple. I define God as love.
Yes.
And I know that God is within me, that I am that creation of love.
That is right.
And therefore, that is how I choose to love myself, by allowing the divinity within me to shine without.
That's beautiful.
Within and without.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It doesn't matter how we got here on the planet. God loved us here.
Yeah.
He purposed us here for a purpose.
Yes.
You know, it doesn't matter how we got here.
Yeah.
You know, we all have grown up. It all depends on what era, you grew up in, how your parents treated you, or what was going on in the neighborhood. You know, the 40s, the 50s, 60s, 70s, on up were very different.
Yes, they were.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yes, they were.
And everything, my belief system, everything is a lesson, be it negative or positive. You're supposed to learn from that, or you keep repeating that over and over. The other part of love, I don't know if to call it negative or positive yet. Maybe you can help with that. But maybe you grew up with a person who was negative to everyone else, but they loved you. And so you identify with that person and how they treated you as love. And you take on their persona, their personality as love. But then you're treating people like they treated people, which was unloving. But you can't recognize that. You can only recognize that that person loved you.
Because that person perhaps spoke those words, I love you. And therefore, you were attached to that as love. Going back to what I said, how most people search for love outside of themselves. So if someone says they love you, then you just take that and run with it because you want love. You want to be loved. That's what we are here as love, to be love.
Yes.
And when you realize that, also you were talking about how everything is a lesson. And I have really learned that over the past year. And I tell many, many people, when you understand that nothing happens to you.
That's right.
And everything happens for you.
Absolutely.
That's when you begin to grow and be able to take that love in and see everything as love, even when it hurts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And even with that, not only hearing the words, but I guess my point was, if this one individual treats you kindly, and maybe the definition of kindly for this person means they give me what I want. Yes. They never fuss at me. You know, they do this to everyone else, but they don't do it to me. They love me.
Right.
And so to them, that's love. And they take on that person's personality, persona, and treat other people the same way, not knowing that it's not love. Yeah. You're not loving as you love you, as you want to be treated. You're loving as you saw someone that you love and you think loves you, treated other people.
As you were trained up to love.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I am finding that is how all of us present in the world, is how we experienced our life growing up.
Right.
And how, because we came in as love. And therefore, as an infant, all you are is love. And how you receive and experience the world as love gets ingrained in you by age 7.
That is
by
right.
age 7 is how you present in the world.
Yes.
And many of us don't grow up in a very happy home those first 7 years. Mm-hmm. And therefore, you know, the confusion and the hurt and that's how they define love. So it is a journey, I believe. As we get older, we begin to realize,
correct,
I don't feel loved. I don't feel love. What is love? And that is when it's time to go inside.
Absolutely.
And go inside and begin to look inside. Why? What is it that is making me not feel love or loved?
Yeah. And the important thing you said was go inside.
Inside.
Yeah, you have to be brave enough to go inside. Like, go inside you, not inside somebody else to get it. Go and see what's wrong with you. Another point I wanted to make, and this is also pointing to a scripture, and not just a scripture meaning Bible, but many spiritual writings about the time that we're living in right now, which is defined as a time where men, which means all souls, will be lovers of themselves more than lovers of God, meaning a narcissistic society. And that is exactly what we live in.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. And it's difficult because when you do begin to go inside, people do begin to call you selfish and words like that, because you begin to do things for you because it makes your heart happy, and you're no longer in that people-pleasing mode where you're always doing things for others because you think you have to for them to love you.
Yes.
And then you realize, no, I have to love myself. I have to learn to be able to be love and express love in the world. And that is when you begin to do that, society looks at you and says, oh boy, are you selfish?
That is right.
And it's difficult to still stay on track because those belief systems, those feelings, like you said, the narcissistic energy can be so great that you feel like it's you against the world sometimes.
Yes.
But then there are no buts in this world. You begin to realize that we are connected. Each and every one of us. We are all one.
We are one.
And you said the verse of the Bible verse. One came into mind for me too, about removing the log from your eye before you move the splinter from your brother, your sister, your friend, your mother, your father, whoever it is.
Whoever it is. Yes.
It's a mirror.
Yeah.
They are asking you to go within. When you begin to feel that unease in your body because how someone else is speaking to you or acting in front of you or what they're saying or doing, it's for you to go inside and say, why does that not sit right with me?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And that's how we do it in love. Because
right.
then you're not reacting to the other person in anger, in frustration, and you're processing what it is in you that needs to be healed. And when you do that, everybody's saying it, and I really truly believe it. When you do that, you heal for all those around you.
That is correct. That is correct. To get to the point to not be afraid to defend yourself, not be afraid to put up boundaries, like not be afraid to understand you don't have to accept being put down so that you don't hurt the other person. What about you? You don't have to accept, well, I have to, fearfully, I have to do this because if I don't do this way, this is going to upset them. When you can get that inner peace of finding your own self-worth, that's such a big thing. That was a big thing for me because there are always people to help put you down. And we don't even understand how much of the put down files we have within us until you start craving you and you start finding your own self-worth. And then it's like, how did I even get here? But then you find your peace. Your peace gives you strength, and you're not afraid to just be you. You're not afraid to, no, I understand, but you're not going to treat me that way.
Yeah. That's when you can live in authenticity. Your authentic self, which is so divine.
Yes.
So divine, which is love.
Which is love.
I define that as love. Yeah. Love. Yeah.
I do too. I do too. It's just now coming to mind when I was talking about and I think we opened January 18th, the Springer Opera House in Columbus, Georgia, but I will definitely make sure you have that information.
Yay.
And then the fashion show that's going to be right here in Newnan, February 24th at Southern Arc Dance Center. It's my oldest son has developed a new luxury shoe clothing line entitled Kulu. It is spelled Nkulu, and it seems like it's Nakulu, but the N is silent. It's a play on the Zulu word from the African culture of Zulu, and it means supreme or divine creator.
Wow.
So I wanted to go back there because we're talking about creator. We're all
Yes.
created out of love. And Mike's motto for his design is, we're created by the divine creator. Why not dress like it?
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, so it's going to be a combination of music, dance, technology, and modeling.
And what's the date again?
It is February 24th at, almost at Springer, Southern Arc Dance Center. It's going to be probably something no one's ever seen before. But still, the whole concept of the brand has to do with the love of our Creator, who created all of us in love.
Wow.
And everything we do, you know my take on the arts.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, the art for me, the arts is God's characteristic expressing Himself.
Yes, I
Yes.
loved that when you told me that.
Yes.
Anytime you are in a creation mode,
Yes.
when you're allowing your creative passion to
Yes.
come through, whether it is singing, dancing, writing,
Cooking,
painting,
any
you
form
know,
of creating, yes.
anything, you are expressing the divine,
Yes.
which I define as love. You're being love.
Yes.
I am so happy that you're here today and we were able to bring up this
I am
this
too.
definition of love, because I am moving towards that in a movement called the Lil Movement.
Right.
L-I-L.
That's right. That's
yes.
Right. That's right.
Love is life.
Yes.
Life is love.
Yes.
Little movement.
Yes.
So if we all can begin a little movement, just, I mean, this world is going to be a great place. I know that.
And it takes what makes a great world is great people.
Yeah.
If people don't change, then the world continues as it is. Also, love is a vibration. That's why it's an energy. Everything is energy, which is why music can heal. Which is why creation and the arts can give you a feeling of vibration or energy, and even affect your organs. It releases certain things in your body that heal and help keep your organs healthy, and especially your heart.
Yes.
Yeah, we have to get down to the core of love
Yes.
and accept that. That
Which
will
is
allow
divine.
us then to have unconditional love and just accept people where they are, even if they are yet still in a state of unloving.
Yes. Beautiful. Thank you, Karen. Thank you. And I would love to have you again on our menu here at Wisdom Cafe.
I would love to come back. Yes.
Thank you all so much for being with us today and enjoying a little helping of wisdom here on WQEE 99.1 FM. Thank you so much for being here.
You've been listening to the House of Light presents the Wisdom Cafe on 99.1 FM WQEE. The House of Light, a wellness center at 29 Jackson Street here in Newnan, is a place for people to relax and find true healing. For additional information, 407-414-6711. Remember to tune in next week for another healing message from the House of Light presents the Wisdom Cafe right here on 99.1 FM WQEE.